Getting cookies. Thank you. Good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you're on the world. Tonight's another edition of Hong Kong House of Cards Social Edition, which ended up being a lot of shifters for some reason tonight, happening at the museum. It's probably going to be in the upper lounge, so anybody that has a key card to get up there is more than welcome to intro up there. Might I recommend that the Tengu bring in the Kitsune, since Kitsune's probably never been here before.
I'm sorry, one more time? I missed that last part.
So might I recommend the Tengu brings in the Kitsune, since the Kitsune's never been there before.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. So I'll let you two start, and then Joey, then Byron, then Tiger and Kim, then Tim, and then me. Go ahead and go, boys and girls.
Hikaru will be bringing Keiko to the museum to try to show her around a bit more. And they're probably both dressed slightly more traditionally than is normal, but not like super duper traditionally, and nothing that can't be hidden in a nice big coat. They will probably take Hikaru's motorcycle to get there, which may or may not be fun for Keiko.
Yeah, I think that'd be the first time Keiko would be on a motorcycle, so that would be interesting.
And they'll come in, and Hikaru will look at her and say, any weapons that you have on you, please leave them here. Because we'll go to like a little back area. And there should be some guards there, yes?
Kim, you typically have human guards on post, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Leave your weapons here, and we will proceed.
All right.
And then he'll slide a card into an elevator and gesture. After you.
All right.
Would you like to intro Keiko?
She has brown hair and she's petite. She's Japanese. She has traditional clothing, generally speaking. Not necessarily formal, but outdated for sure.
Okay, go ahead. You guys are heading on up. Elizabeth, you gonna catch up with them before they head upstairs?
Yeah, Elizabeth and probably Felicia as well are coming in and heading up the stairs to get up there.
It stands to mention that Felicia looks like she's in the best mood since you have ever met her.
Elizabeth has a very knowing look in her eyes. Felicia might want to roll perception empathy.
There's 3.
Yeah, she knows. You get the feeling she may have been outside the window for at least a little bit, noticing what you're doing.
That's super creepy.
Hella creepy.
Exactly.
Like that's extreme. Like, are you sure you want to keep doing that? Because that would like change the relationship if Elizabeth just sits down at this window watching things like that.
What happens when two Garamede eyes?
You get the feeling it was more of a look in the window. Oh, that's what she's doing. Well, not a. Oh my God, she's fapping at the window. You know. Not
Have you
as
actually done rolls for that, by the way, on some real shit?
Hmm?
Have you actually done rolls for that?
Oh. So.
Then yeah, no, she like hasn't really mentioned it or anything.
Are we ready to continue?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So Felicia and Elizabeth are catching up with Shosuro and Keiko.
Okay.
You guys are. That's enough for one elevator up. Byron, go ahead and come in with. I guess you're bringing tank.
Yes. No, I said I can bring in company. Tank though, stressed out as he walk in. Undo his ties and just hand over his puppet toy and I kick on in and he'll unbutton the top 3 buttons on his t-shirt and wait for the elevator to come back down.
All right, Tiger, you want to go ahead and have Bosco come in, and Adriana can come in as well.
Bosco will walk in through the secret super VIP entrance. He doesn't carry any weapons, so he'll let the guards pat him down if they need to or whatever, but he'll go ahead and walk on in, slide his card, and I think he has a card, right? Yeah, okay, he has a card. And he will ride up the elevator to the lounge whenever a free one becomes available.
All right, so Adriana.
Adriana will probably come from the top of the museum, the Tarot Council meeting room, down to the lounge, and nobody would have seen her coming in.
Okay. So you're heading down into the lounge where there's now 1, 2, 3, 4 shifters in there already. I guess with the crew waiting, they'll finally notice that Mox has been standing in a corner for the past hour trying to be a statue. And seeing that everybody's over there already waiting for an elevator, he'll walk over and stand behind people just up on his tippy toes. So, are you guys waiting for the log ride too? This is to Tank and Bosco.
Yeah,
I know. I gave him a weird look.
yeah.
You know?
Bosco pretty much just kind of looks down over his shoulder at them.
He just kind of smiles. Oh, come on. I'm in the mood for waffles. Do we have any waffles up there?
Probably.
Probably.
Mox will reach over and start hyper tapping the button to go up. Waffles, 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 waffles. So the elevator will finally come down, open up. Everybody can get inside and head upstairs. All right. So for the 4 shifters and Adriana, what are you guys doing while the other people are on the way up?
Oh, there are room for aspects too.
Aspects his perception. Right?
It's perception, empathy, difficulty A for aspects too.
The amount of successes determines how much you find out about the creature type. Or how many auras you come across.
Yeah, the nature of the aura. Yeah.
Have I just walked into another one of those, oh god, I'm going to die situations? Whenever people are rolling powers, it's my automatic assumption.
It's
Yeah.
aspects. It's not anything's going to die yet, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, but while you're at it though, can Haishin soak 7 ag?
Yeah, if you wanted to, rather easily, actually.
Bosco frenzied, so
All right, back. And this is a museum scene. So everybody's now in the lounge. What happened with Bosco?
I was joking that Bosco frenzied.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Alright.
A new cases.
Yeah. GNC.
Here and building.
Shoshiro is going to be talking with Keiko, and Keiko's met Liz, right? Has Keiko met
Yes.
Felicia?
I don't think Keiko's had a chance because you were playing Logan both times that she was playing Keiko.
Yeah,
So,
I'm not Felicia.
um,
Felicia just may or may. I don't think it's too crazy to assume that Felicia may look in the direction of somebody that may be looking at her.
yeah. No, that's legit. Well, actually, Shoshro would bring Keiko over to introduce her.
Okay. Empathy and hatred. Yay. Does Keiko have a rage score?
Does Keiko what?
Have a rage score.
Yes.
How high is that?
It's 4.
Oh, damn. All right.
This is my cousin, Keiko.
Good to meet you. Name's Felicia, and Felicia will extend her hand.
Keiko will shake hands and say, "Nice to meet you too."
So, you new around here?
Yes. You?
No, I've been here for a few months now.
So doors will open. Mox will be the first one out, running over and searching for a waffle maker.
All right.
Is he always like that?
Well,
Like,
Think we'll just look at him with all these.
I mean, he's just looking for something? Felicia shrugged.
You hear muttered under his breath in Mandarin, oh no, Cantonese, waffles, repeatedly.
This is my character that doesn't understand Cantonese. Need to buy that. Wait. Fuck. Yeah, no, I need to buy that language.
Adriana is like, look in the third cabinet over on the bottom.
He will abruptly change his direction, open the third cabinet, pull it out, then start pulling out the components, and we'll start mixing stuff together, going waffles, waffles, waffles.
I guess we tip out by now.
Yep, you guys are free and clear to move about the.
I will.
Free and clear to move yourself about around the lounge. Evan, you can introduce your character whenever you'd like as well.
The first thing I'm gonna do is walk over the thing and request a waffle.
You see Mox swallowing up the batter. Sweet or savory?
Yes.
Sweet it is.
He'll carefully walk over to the others. Hello, my name is Tank. I recognize only one or two of you. Hello again, what's your name, Misso?
Shoshiro.
Sosoro, good to see you again.
It's good to see you again as well, Tank. Have you met my cousin Keiko?
No, I have not. That's right.
He will introduce Keiko again. Like, this is my friend Tank.
And I will bow and say, "Nice to meet you. I'm Keiko."
And he'll bow back and say, "It's very nice to meet you. My name is Tank."
Keiko is new to the city. Would you have any advice for her?
Yes. Did you tell her about the key people not to mess with?
I haven't exactly had a lot of time to tell her much at all.
Oh. Adriana just kind of sounds sad. Do I have to do it again?
If you'd like. If not, I can handle it later.
Kind of my job.
All right.
Just gonna look at Keiko. I'm Adriana. I'm a vampire. We all work together in this shithole. Don't tell anybody or I have to follow and track you down. It's a really weird situation. Just don't tell anybody outside the city.
All right.
Adriana just gives a thumbs up and does her own little thing.
Thank you. That was Adriana. She's very nice.
Sometimes.
When you're allowed to be.
Is Bosco. Bosco, have you met my cousin Keiko?
I do not believe so. It is nice to meet you.
It is nice to meet you, she says as she bows.
Bosco will give a slight bow back.
Shoshiro will turn to her in Japanese and whisper into her ear, "He is not like the others. He is more rare."
Waffles, 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 waffles. You hear the psh of nonstick spray being sprayed over the waffle iron, and batter starting to be glooped on. Evan, go ahead and I guess you and Kim are coming in together, so you guys can show up.
At this point, then, the elevator door will casually open, and Haishin and Jiaying will enter the upper lounge. Haishin's immediate reaction towards entering is a raised eyebrow. Waffles.
Yep, Mox is in the kitchenette making waffles. And he's got a bowl of batter that's probably about the size of a punch bowl. So he's planning on making a lot of them.
At this point, Haishin will basically, he will walk, I'm not going to say he will walk, he will run, but he will walk with a very definite purpose, hop over the counter, as in leap it, and continue, and basically start helping him in any way make waffles exist.
Mox will look at you and say, "No, my waffles."
So you're intending to eat that entire pan of batter all to yourself. I
No,
will
but
cry on the inside.
No, I'm making them, but they're my waffles to make.
There's that wonderful moment of, like, you know, in anime where the eyes connect and there's lightning that flashes between them.
Yeah. I'm being nice tonight. I'm making everybody waffles.
You know what? I actually don't trust them. I've seen what he does to the drinks.
Hey, hey, hey. I would never tamper with waffles.
Shoshiro will turn around and go, "Some of us cannot really resist free bread."
Bosco chuckle.
If you've got any syrup, I would suggest getting it out now.
There was a strange man from Canada who adds maple syrup to tea, to green tea. It makes me sad on every level of my existence.
You don't need that kind of negativity in your life.
No. Wow.
Can you imagine as he says this, a single tear rolls down his cheek?
Wow. Syrup and tea, that's
No.
kind of really weird.
Yes.
I believe the word you are looking for is blasphemy, Felicia.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know if I'd go that far, but that's how far you're taking it. I'm not to disagree.
We're very serious about our tea, Felicia.
Yes.
Hey.
The funnier part is that he actually drank it.
That sounds
And enjoyed it.
Speaking of tea,
Who was this now?
Cass,
What was his name? That funny will worker man who headbutted my door. He ran full pelt and headbutted the door.
Mr. Eli Callahan was his name, dear.
You have to stop letting weird people into your shop.
I would like to point out that if I only let normal people into my shop, I'd go bankrupt.
You need a more elaborate screening process then.
Well, if that was the case, I don't know if I'll make it or not.
Mox is going to start
Kinda
putting
laugh.
out waffles and searching for maple syrup, and he's actually going to find some blueberries, juice them, and combine them with maple syrup.
Oh, bless you.
Kind of mixing it up together and setting it down. But they're still regular syrup. It's just that he also made some blueberry syrup too.
I've never had blueberry syrup. That sounds fucking baller.
It's amazing. I made some.
Uh-huh.
Who was that other strange person? Why is it strange people find my shop? No, actually, I'm not going to ask that because then I might receive an answer from the cosmos. He contemplates. Then there was that. What was the name of the strange person you insisted that I hired?
Charlie.
Why did I do that? Why?
Did you not hear me when we were talking about it at the Mandarin's office?
Who's Charlie?
That is a very good question.
He said he was a Tengu or a
Oh
Borat.
God!
Oh, that Charlie. Yes.
Elizabeth's eyes just snap over to where they are as soon as she hears that.
He's
Where
a
she changes
sneak.
it.
He likes to listen on people's conversations.
I know.
That is a good thing to have for a guard, to be fair.
Well, it is one of the tasks which the Emerald Mother has given to us.
I can't fault you that logic, but you know,
Sorry, the what?
Aren't you not supposed to be caught doing that, though?
he was openly.
Oh, in that case, he should be chastised.
I'll leave that to you because I had to take 3 mages outside who were trying to have a private conversation. I had to take them to an alleyway and guard them because of him throwing up an act of power.
Wait, what?
What was this?
This was in a this was in a tea shop called Lucky Star.
That is very problematic.
Yeah, that's very problematic.
I will speak with him.
Please do, because right now, first of all, being Charlie and being Asian is not a good thing around Americans.
Hold on now. I test that fact. Take a speak up. I'm American.
Only one though, my dear.
Yeah, he's also Chinese.
Also, we
So
forgive you for your many, many sins, Tank. You are not responsible for the happenstance of your death, and we accept that.
I'll accept this. Tank is gonna go behind the counter and start warming up some water for tea.
Just please do not add maple syrup. I already had to offer my apologies to the tea spirits yesterday. They were both perturbed.
Oh,
at this point, Shuge will actually put his hand on the maple syrup and say, "This maple syrup is reserved for waffles," and then take his hand off of it.
I would never put such blasphemy into a tea.
Yes.
He's going to keep making waffles until the batter runs out, so everybody can grab what they want.
Awesome. Karu will definitely have waffles.
It's got a hint of cinnamon and nutmeg into the actual waffle batter. And it's legit waffle batter, so it's actually light and fluffy, not like when you make waffles out of pancake batter where it's so dense.
Right.
Awesome.
Where are our utterly terrible manners? And Haishin will bow at the 2 Japanese people and say, "I do not believe that I have met you. I do not know if my master has met you." He points at Shiny, however. Yes, congratulations, you're my boss. This is a thing now. But he will say, "My name is Hai Shen Shen. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. And allow me to introduce the representative of our court and voice of the Mandarin, Jialing Zhao."
It is a pleasure to meet you both, and Hikaru will bow as deeply as they bowed to him and say, "I am Shoshiro Hikaru, and this is my cousin Keiko."
And I will bow as deeply as.
Yeah, Jiaying will bow deeply to all of you guys.
Mox is actually going to flip on the stereo and set the music to "Foxy Lady" by Jimi Hendrix.
Keiko will turn and stare.
Mox just goes back to making waffles, making sure that he sprays down the iron every single time, because if you don't do that, then stuff will start sticking.
And Elizabeth goes and sets the next song to "What Does the Fox Say?" Just
Oh my
to
god.
make it better. And then
That's
returns
not
to her
better.
place on the side.
Joshua kind of clicks out a laugh.
Take a look up. Who wants the tea?
Yes, please.
Please.
I'll take some if you don't mind.
I will too. Just make it white tea for me, please.
Hey, well, he'll go to the cabinet and start gathering the tea bags he needs. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get the medicine.
Okay. Jiaying, Haishin, what is it that you do?
They're little gods.
Yes.
You have to call it Hessian
Now-
is what I prefer.
Joshua is very, very confused.
We are the representatives on Earth of the august personage of Jade, if you would prefer.
You are not. He looks around. Kami?
Hi. That would be also applicable, I suppose.
Joshua will bow deeper this time and is still very confused.
Mox is going to speak up. You don't have to bow like you're bowing to Phoenix or the Emerald Mother or anything like that. They're just tiny gods.
Itty bitty teeny weeny lemon polka dotted gods, indeed.
Oh, okay.
Hessian is what we're normally called, dear.
And what do you do?
Variety of things.
Primarily, we answer prayers of those who would pray to He who sits most high above all. And he kind of makes a little mudra gesture with his hands.
Mm.
At this point, Mox is going to mock whisper over to Shosuro, which is going to be loud because he's not near him. They think the Emerald Mother's a dude.
Joshua will look back and kind of whisper in the same regard. That's kind of new and weird.
I know, right?
The Emerald Mother as in the bar that got shut down and bought out to make a homeless.
No, we're talking about the Eastern name for Gaia, the spirit of all things.
Yeah. Joshua will look around and go, there was a bar named after the Most High's wonderful spirit.
Oh, I still work there. I just
Which is apparently now a homeless shelter.
Yep.
That is a better suiting city. Makes my head hurt.
It was
Welcome
more
to Hong Kong.
Keiko chuckles.
Joshua will go to the billboard, the bulletin board. Excuse me, the bulletin board.
As far as I'm aware, there aren't any new haikus.
There is a rather lovely poster about a martial arts tournament, though. Cough.
Yeah, that will catch his eye. Who runs this establishment? And he'll point at the poster.
I do.
Jiaying will point to Haishin.
Hello.
Interesting. I am very curious about this event. Perhaps we can discuss it more at some point.
Absolutely. As I have said, my doors are always open to anyone who wishes to simply have excellent tea and excellent reading.
I'm going to have to pass. My martial arts is used for meditation and defense, never for exposition. I mean exhibition. Head's too much in the clouds lately.
It is not really exhibition. After all, we focus inwardly in ourselves whenever we practice our art, and the only way that we can, in fact, come to a greater understanding of ourselves is by facing a worthy opponent. And unfortunately, worthy opponents do not often just jump. They too often do not jump out at you on the street, announce their worth, and say, "I challenge you to honorable fisticuffs." Anymore, anyway.
Yeah, that actually used to be a thing a long time ago, from what I understand.
Mm-hmm. I liked those days better.
It's a very good way of settling disputes.
But no, the premise is quite simple. It will be every entity from all of the, I do believe they're called houses, from all of the houses of this Tower of Accord. The concept being is that they come together in a spirit of mutual sporting goodwill and favor in order to find who amongst them, in order to test their abilities against each other in non-lethal, honorable combat, which will simply consist of fighting to submission or unconsciousness in the normal advocate rules. There will be no, shall we say, unpleasant business. We will make certain of that. But it is a way of bringing people together, because once you spar with someone, you come to dance with them. You understand them, their moves, their attitudes, their realities.
And Go ahead.
I don't know. I suppose we have different views on fighting, but if I wanted to get to know somebody, I'd really rather just talk to them personally. Mr. Shrugs.
At that point, Mox's jaw is just going to drop.
Elizabeth is giving Felicia a tiny bit of side eye. Just kind of like
Because that just came from Arun.
What happened?
The Arun suggested diplomacy.
Which is what kind
He is not a wound. That's impossible.
Oh no!
You say that, and then she deals 7 ag to you in 1 round.
Alright, so Jige will finish up all the pancake batter. Now there's a stack of waffle batter. There's a stack of waffles with 2 different cups of syrup and a whole bunch of plates. So, alright guys, eat them up.
Waffles.
Waffles.
He's gonna snap his fingers and say, I should have made fried chicken too. I understand that's a real delicacy.
Oh.
He's gonna look at Sosa and say, sorry.
I don't know what you're talking about. It's a Christmas delicacy.
Can Evan, being the huge JF, I'll just point out it's not Christmas that they eat it on, it's New Year.
Fair point. You can, in fact, point that out. I am culturally ignorant.
It's just like, I've had KFC in Tokyo on New Year's. You have to book tables. It's hilarious, moving swiftly.
Wow.
That's such a weird thing. I'm sorry, continue. Well, I am most interested in this exhibition. Perhaps if I may dust off my skills, I may participate myself.
I think
There will, I'm led to understand what we are going to do is there will be a nominal entrance fee per person, and the amount raised will be donated to children's charities here in Hong Kong.
In that case, I will definitely attend.
Oh, that knocks me out. I'm broke.
I mean, if you want to do it, I'll pay for you.
That was my way of getting out while saving face. Thank you for that, by the way. I really appreciate the exposition from the leech. And I did use that correctly.
Haishin makes a mental note. Dear God, I haven't seen this many Japanese people here since the invasion.
Chinese. Chinese.
I mean, you
Oh,
can say that, and just rely on the words to save you. We'll just sit
Keiko
back
actually
and
smiles
enjoy
at
it.
that.
Oh, that was an internal monologue thing, I think.
Oh, it was.
Yeah, he was to himself.
It was told my previous character actually had hatred of the filthy Japanese.
Oh, God.
But yeah, no. Haishin kind of pours. When tea is offered, he will, take it and kind of turn the tea around 3 times in his hands before casually taking a sip. The one issue that I'm finding is I wish to give a prize to the winner, obviously. And the problem is that we could give so many wonderful things. Tomes of lore, jade statuettes, objet d'art, bric-a-brac, up and down, side to side, left to right, etc. However, it's finding something that interests us all universally that is the key conundrum that I currently face.
I personally am a fan of a dead flesh crafting Zamise.
Tank was just not that.
Would you perhaps like a part? What's the old line? 1 Zamisa dying, 2 Bruja brawling, 3 at La Sombra. Sorry.
No.
But he kind of raises an eyebrow and says, I'm led to understand that last time my folk attempted to eradicate this problem, they ended up almost sinking an element of the... one of us ended up dying, another ended up in the hospital, and we almost ended up causing a sinkhole in the middle of the walled city district. None of these are positive points.
Well, that's why you go in with a bunch of people. Or, you don't go into the Elder Vampire's Haven. There's always that.
That would be the wisest course of action, I believe.
Yeah, to catch him off, he's not in his base of power.
I thought he was recently seen outside somewhere, wasn't he?
Yes.
From the report I was given by the Mandarin, his quote-unquote base of power isn't there anymore, or is gone. So maybe he's now looking for a new... I'm going to use the phrase home, but it is far too deplorable a concept.
Yeah, I heard bad things about what these things use for homes.
Well, I'm not sure about that. Hard for participating, but
I mean...
or whatever anybody else uses.
I
As a
was just a joke. Just keeping up. The moon thing.
I guess. I'm tired. Going to bed.
Right.
Night.
Okay, so Adriana and Bosco vanish. Not at the same time, or else Mox be following. Like, what you doing? Get away from the bear. Step away from the bear. But anyway, yeah. Mox is going to grab a cup of tea and is going to sit down and sip it lightly. Upside
Keiko,
down
would
on
you-
his head.
Would you excuse me for a moment? I have something I need to attend. And he will wander over to where Felicia is at and kind of motion. Could I have a moment of your time?
Yeah, sure thing. Felicia will put her phone away because she was probably jerking around on her phone. She's a glass walker. She does that. And then follow him to pretty much wherever at this point.
Okay.
On an out of character note, I think Byron might just legitimately have gotten hit by a train.
Sorry, it's loud. I apologize.
It's okay. They'll wander off somewhere semi-private and on the far side of semi-private. And Hikaru will say, there are two things I wish to discuss with you. One of them, I believe the young one may be getting a little too attached.
All right.
The other is the current problem with the closing of the barn on our side of things.
Yeah, what's going on?
It seems as though the rest of Sun Ai's people have come in to check on the job that they have given him to do. And they are not pleased that he has not kept them informed. It seems as though he has been telling them that everything has been fine, and I have been reporting another story. So when word gets out, as it has, he initially directed his anger at me. And I am currently in the process of dealing with that problem. Apparently everything that has happened in this city has been my fault, despite my efforts to assist the rest of you in protecting it. And now he also blames the Sunset people and my association with them for the troubles that we currently endure. Now, we both know that this is garbage, but I thought it might be brought to your attention.
Same old politics bullshit, I guess. So, what should we be expecting someone to come up and challenge, or what's up?
I do not know if there will be a leadership challenge, but there may be some form. I thought perhaps you could help the young one use it as a learning experience, but I also wish to warn you that Sunai is very, very angry. He is unlike I have seen him.
I barely know this Sanai dude. What's up with him?
He generally is very straightforward individual, but lately he has been hiding things. I do not know if it is for power or personal gain or to hide himself from embarrassment or what. He's also very strong. Are you familiar with the regal family of the Khan?
Like Star Trek?
No, there are many different kinds of... the Emerald Mother has many children. You are of a sort, I am of a different sort, Keiko is of a third, Bosco, etc. Yes?
Yeah.
Some of them are tigers.
Oh. Fuck.
Sunai is of this persuasion, and he is unhappy. I wish this combination to cease. One or the other of these things must go.
Okay. So, what I'm hearing is we should probably start getting our ducks in a row.
Yes. Yes, very.
Do you have any idea what his list of grievances are?
I do not. I will endeavor to find out.
If you can get back to me on that, I know you want. Seriously.
I will do my best. I understand that his primary grievance at the moment is being demoted, so to speak. The rest of his group came in, his Sentai, not his family. And they have no need to challenge him for leadership. They simply assumed it. They are reasonable people, I'm certain. I have not spoken with them at length yet, but everything is at this moment more reasonable than Sunai.
All right.
That is the most pressing matter I wish to bring to you. Sunai has asked that the bond be closed until this matter can be resolved, and the new leader of the Maipo Sept has agreed to this condition.
All right. I'll get back to you so we can talk more about this later. I'm sure that the others are getting quite suspicious of us.
Of course.
Kind of jokingly shoots a look over at the rest of the group who may or may not be staring at them.
Mox is kind of doing the whoop whoop, throwing his hands up, like rolling them like this. Get it, don't stop, get it.
He's not doing that generally, or he's running distraction. Either way, Felicia appreciates it.
Okay, so we'll start heading back over that way then, and you guys can go ahead and go because we've monopolized the scene for a while.
No worries.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys.
Mox will look at them when they come back and say, "So, when's the wedding? Can I be a groomsman? I've never been a groomsman before." Oh,
we
wait,
decided to
I
go
can
with the
officiate the
private
wedding.
ceremony. We decided to go with more of a private ceremony.
Can I officiate?
Wait.
No one later.
Oh,
Wait.
how wonderful. You intend to marry? That's absolutely spectacular.
That's
You can tell he's
amazing.
completely oblivious to this.
Felicia, I can't believe you. You went and got married without me? I thought we were best friends. I can't believe you. I swear. Shh. And I'm a roll manipulation subterfuge to see if she can fake cry. I'm rolling to see if she fake cries. 3. Since
Obviously being facetious.
Be right back,
so,
guys.
Mitchell, since Felicia is the main recipient of this, can I add my pure breed to this?
I don't think pure breed helps you fake cry.
Okay. I mean, there's 3 successes.
Okay.
She's
Okay, you are successfully fake.
very melodramatic, throwing herself like on the chair, her hand on her forehead. Oh, I cannot believe you, Felicia. You've abandoned me. Fake crying.
Yeah, Shostro, if you want to get with Felicia, you got to get with Elizabeth too.
She takes a moment out of her fake crying to just peek through her hand on her forehead and wink at Shosuro.
Joshua like holds up his hand and starts counting his fingers. 1, 2, 3. I could do that.
Very shady glance towards Elizabeth and or Felicia, and then Elizabeth seems to be thinking something over in her head. I can see that.
Mox is going to look at Keiko and say, "Hope you didn't have any designs in your cousin. I don't know how it is in Japan."
I give a deadpan stare.
Haishin says in Chinese as he's eating a waffle, but he said it's more akin to strange foreigners than anything else.
Elizabeth walks up, gets a bucket of ice, and hands it to Keiko. She just gets some ice and hands it to
What's
Keiko.
this for?
Oh, I thought you might need it for that burn.
Oh,
I wasn't burned.
She pats Keiko's hand. I know, but you might be later.
It
Is
is.
that a thread?
It's an expression, Keiko, and it turns to everyone else in the room and goes, "We are not related."
Mox just
that-
looked at Shostro like the whole I know it's going to look.
I do not know what it is like where you come from. And Haishin, he's not looking at, he's not directly looking at Joey's character. I don't think I've ever actually learned the name. But he's intimating towards it. He says, in the East, it is considered very impolite to touch someone without their permission to do so. I would think you owe someone an apology.
She just looks at him. Oh, my apologies, I didn't know. And then she'll bow to Keiko. My deepest apologies, Keiko. I did not realize that.
I bow back and say, it is all right.
Jiaying, are you always this quiet?
Typically, yes. I prefer to listen to those around me.
Out of curiosity, in what order is that name? Like, is Jiaying her family name or her personal name? Because if that's her personal name, Shoshiro would not be using it at the moment.
It's a personal name, but I'm not well versed in
Okay.
that culture, so everyone just calls her Jiaying because I kind of screwed up on that part. So I mean, you could
Basically, in order to the Chinese don't reflective go from the Chinese don't go first name to last name, or don't go last name to first name like the Japanese do. So your first name is Jiaying, your family name is Zhao, and you would be called Jiaying.
Okay. I know that they used to use similar customs and that they have changed recently.
Yes. So, like for example, you to be correctly referred to would be Hikaru-san, but you know, oh no, Brain. It wouldn't be Hikaru-san. It would be. What is your first name?
Hikaru.
There we go. I'm too tired to brain.
It's okay. I'm also very tired.
Gotta be up running Dark Heresy for you peeps. God damn it! Yeah, socialize, yeah, grumble.
Is there anything else we're going to do in the social scene? I don't know if people like ducked out or if they're waiting for something.
I'm still here. I'm sorry, I'm a little tired.
No, you're fine. That's why I'm asking.
I think Tim's BRBing right now.
Okay.
But yes, please do tell any of your brothers and sisters, or cousins indeed, that they are all more than welcome to compete for a good cause if they wish to follow the ancient and honorable art of the sword or the fist. They are more than welcome.
Thank you very much.
Always about the
Hooray.
sword, always about the fist. Nobody talks about the rubber chicken anymore.
Why would you fight with a rubber chicken?
Why wouldn't you fight with the rubber chicken?
Because it's a rubber chicken.
It'd be quite inefficient, Lydia.
Yeah,
it would
but
take-
sorry, go ahead.
It would take your opponents quite off guard.
Yes, and imagine how humiliated they'd be if you beat them with a rubber chicken.
If you were able to, that is. I believe a sword would slice through the rubber chicken.
Ah, but the trick is, and do not let the chicken touch the sword. The chicken must only touch the other person.
No.
Question for reference. There are only metal detectors down there, right? Like before you, at where the guards are?
They literally ask you if you have any weapons, and if you say no, then they will try to pat you down.
Okay. Continue.
You'll notice that Juge does not have his ceremonial monastic staff. So, you see, anything's a weapon if you're brave enough. Anything can be thrown if you're brave enough. And anything's a dildo if you're brave enough.
What's
And
a
yes,
dildo?
just came from the monk.
Something that you would not wish to use a cactus for, Keiko.
Okay.
Oh, dearie my.
Perhaps I will give you a pop culture lesson later.
Okay.
Don't show her the movies. That's just creepy.
No, that is very creepy.
You are a strange group of people, that's for certain.
Are you so normal yourself?
Oh no, not at all.
You know, it's like Forrest Gump said, strange is a strange nose.
Like who said?
My sentiments exactly.
You need to show these two some movies.
I'm working on it. Movie nights are definitely on my to-do list.
Hearing how she's been speaking, Haishan cocks his head to the side and looks at Keiko. And he's pondering for a moment before he says, "If one may ask a delicate question, how old are you?"
21.
Wow, older than I am. Okay then.
She was cloistered.
Yes.
Well, welcome to freedom. Or as near as we get to freedom in Hong Kong.
Is there any progress being made on the recent troubles?
The city is so filled with woes, you will have to elaborate to a greater degree.
Has there been any progress in attempting to alleviate the curfew?
Well, seeing as how the technocracy are the ones instigating the cordon, I would say no, maybe.
The technocracy will only be able to hold the curfew in place for so long before it starts to affect things that even they don't like affecting, such as, trade, commerce, the actual ability for the city to function. It will last a few more weeks, I should think, and then they will come up with a reason or an excuse to have it dropped, provided there are no more instances for them to have further fuel to add to the fire.
Yeah. Like, I don't know, maybe having another person blow up something?
That would be unfortunate.
Yes.
Still know how they got the dude to blow himself up in the first place.
I have a question that you honourable gentlemen, may be able to answer. Of the collective house of cards, who would the wealthiest member be?
I don't know how we judge wealth. I'm broke as shit, so anybody would be wealthier than me. Of course, I'm a monk, and I live off of the kindness of the temple and devote myself to priestly duties as well as, teaching lessons and kicking the crap out of the worm every once in a while.
You see, I have a problem that unfortunately I believe will only be able to be solved by a decent degree of I have a spiritual problem that will only be able to be solved by a decent degree of expendable income.
It seems that perhaps your problem is not entirely spiritual then.
No, unfortunately it is entirely spiritual. Allow me to explain. I assume that you've all heard of the soda company that produces the drink Tentacle Grape. Terrible name, I know, but c'est la vie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I have heard of it.
Under their main production plant, which is located in the Wall City district, there is a very old and very powerful Daishen, or Earth Spirit, of immense age and power. However, he has grown angry and very angry with humanity and its folly, for he has seen people worked to death there for generations. He has seen the abuse of his soil and the abuse of all the other elements for them to make their wealth and then bury the bodies of their dead workers in his soil in unconsecrated, unhallowed graves. He wants them simply to stop. He's pulling down their factory every time they wish to rebuild it, time after time after time again now. So I want to buy this land so that I can turn it into a garden or a temple or something that will at last give the spirits some peace, because obviously I can't simply take the land.
Mox's eyes will go wide, looking over at Felicia. Then we'll look back at Aishin and say, well, the problem is, who owns the property to begin with?
I assume it is this tentacle grape company.
And do we have the means not only to buy them out, but also to properly register the property in people's proper names? I mean, keep in mind that if a place owns property, they are not forced to sell it, no matter how much money is offered.
The thing is, they've been experiencing constant ground tremors due in part to the spirit's presence, or due to the spirit's presence. So I believe eventually, as opposed to wanting to keep this land because they will not be able to continue their construction, they will sell it. And I believe that if they were offered an inducement, they would simply wish to sell up and, cover their losses elsewhere. But the problem
What's the name
is,
of the
of course,
company?
as I said, out of game, Evan doesn't know. In game, he does.
Thaw Beverages.
Beg your pardon?
It's Thaw Beverages.
There we go.
You guys gonna look over at Shosuro? That sound familiar to you? It's ringing something in the back of my head.
I'm not familiar with the company, but I am not going to distrust your assumption.
Does anybody know who owns Thaw Beverages? They don't sound like the kind of company that would be by themselves.
Oh,
Shoshiro will grab his smartphone.
Mox is gonna look over at Felicia. Can you look up?
What's that?
Can you look up who owns Thaw Beverages?
Yes, I can. And she'll start looking it up. I don't know if you need me to actually roll for this.
I don't think so. It should be well known who the holding company for Thaw is.
Okay.
I'm sure you know who it is, right?
Out of character,
It begins with a P and ends in an X, does it?
Yes.
Oh, do I know that?
If they're listed as the main, most companies like that would, if they're not shadow conglomerations, they'll have an actual owned and operated by blah over company or something like that.
Yeah,
And
subsidiary.
Pentex are not exactly like they're not subtle. They put their logo on everything.
Yeah.
Okay, my bad. The version of Pentax I normally play with is actually effective, and they don't put their name on shit.
Wow.
And they bury them under paperwork.
That's insane. How the hell did that happen?
Yeah, no, it's great. Pentax ain't no joke when I play it.
Well, according to Book of the Worm, they're really, really out there. So, they're like, we're in everything. Ever heard of Black Dog video games?
All right. So, what version was this again?
Thaw Beverages.
Okay. Felicia's adding that to the list. Coming for that ass.
What's up? Felicia? Share with the class.
Check it out, man. She'll hand the phone over to Juge.
Juge will take it and promptly hand it back, and then grab 2 waffles and shove them in his mouth to keep from screaming.
okay. Tell me what I can say with the other cast members who don't know what's going on.
They're an issue.
I sense there is some more sharing with the class that needs to occur.
Yeah.
Now, what is it these guys have been up to?
I beg your pardon?
What is it that they've been up to, out of curiosity?
A number of very peculiar things if you try to add them up all together. For example, I encountered a team of them down by the shorefront who were apparently doing a geological survey. I mean, I have no idea what a soft drink company would want with a geological survey.
If
They
they're
gave
having earthquakes in that area, maybe they wanted to survey it to see why the earthquakes or whatever kept happening.
Mox
That's
is
not
going
how
to
you
down some water.
Haishin raises a finger and he says, I have a doctorate in geology. That is not how you survey for earthquakes.
They're fucking Pentax.
What's a Pentex?
Pentex is a company that serves the dark side of the worm, which is almost
Elizabeth
entirely a
is
dark
looking
side.
at Juge a little weird.
What? They need to know. That's why you can't buy out this company. They're owned by one of the biggest companies in the world. That just so happens.
I'm not talking about Oh, sorry. Continue.
That just so happens to be a source of pure evil.
Yeah.
So you are telling me that they serve Lord Centipede?
And Shoshiro will look at him and go, yes.
Ah,
Whatever they are up to, it is not beneficial, it is not good, and it is inherently malignant. And they
that
will
would
be taken out.
that would explain why the Earth Spirit was so distressed at their general presence. Hmm.
So you guys going to look
Yeah.
at Felicia in kind of garbled Guru tongue. Centipede's just one of the faces of the worm, right?
Wait, what's just one of the faces of the worm?
Centipede. Like, Centipede is one of the worm's major spirits, isn't it?
I don't know too much about the wormish incarna or Celestines or whatever.
Yeah, me either. There's a reason.
Yeah, like I ain't got worm lore on my shit. I don't know damn thing about them. I just know it's bad. Bad AF.
This reminds me of things I need to try to find excuses to buy this month.
Yep.
Some of us don't
Worm
speak
lore,
Guru.
Pentex lore.
No, some of us don't speak Guru, you bastards.
But yeah, no. Felicia's gonna look over Aisha and say, "So these guys have been an issue for you?"
Yes, we infiltrated their facility because the man wanted us to give him a report of their goings on, which we did. We posed as health inspectors and we infiltrated their main bottling plant. This is the same area where the Dai Shen, the Earth Elemental, was located. Other than, obviously, the very, very perturbed elemental, it seems like a completely normal bottling plant, albeit it suffered some major damage recently from both the tectonic interference and apparently one of my kind being very, very silly. But
I'm sorry, please go ahead and finish.
no, as I was saying, the only other thing that I found interesting was the fact that we identified their geological survey on the shorefront. It was rather peculiar to see them with that kind of equipment, etc. When we inquired as a health inspector team, they said that they were citing new areas for possible factory buildings, but also that doesn't necessarily make much sense.
If they're aligned with Pancakes, there's one thing that they're interested in. That's ruining the local environment.
Well, it would make sense. We encountered a very, very dangerous member of our race there, one who has sold his soul to the darkest powers incarnate, who goes by the name Poison Well. He was also hanging around the dig.
If he's associated with these guys, then, well, you may have a real problem.
Like, we didn't have enough problems in the city. You know, the Vampire's Holy Ward getting knocked out by one post, the flesh crafting asshole in Kowloon, the technocrat staging shit and, you know, stuff blowing up, and now we're under martial law. Well, curfew. Martial law could be next, who knows.
Do you want to know what the difference is with this particular problem?
We can punch it in the face?
We can punch it in the face, and it's something that's fucking familiar to me.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay.
Elizabeth just walks over to Felicia and just whispers, well, whispers as best she can in Guru tongue. You need to go get the sept ready.
I will point out that the destruction or major civil unrest or damages in the city at this moment in time would only enable the technocracy to clamp down harder and for longer.
That
We've
depends on
survived
the-
this long under it, haven't we?
Yes, but that is only because they do not view us as a threat. If they start to view us as either a threat or that they can scapegoat us for the greater control that they seek, it is what all corrupt governments do and all corrupt organizations. They will use us. They will use us as martyrs for a cause that we do not believe in order to basically stricture and sanction the people.
Then we will have to adhere to the one law that all of our peoples follow together. Do not get caught.
X fucking.
Ah, yes. Law 1.
Yep. So,
While I am, of course, not advocating for these entities to continue their horrendous work, my point is that going in all guns blazing will more than likely just end with harsh sanctions and/or very unpleasant situations.
So we don't use guns, we use claws.
What do you
They
think?
are much quieter.
Some kind of barbarian? We don't do things like that. Not here. We learn, discover, and get info. And then we hit them where it hurts the most. I have a character, Evan. Who's running this plot?
Flavio.
Okay. Gonna need to hit him up for some scenes.
Yep.
Isn't there another Pentex company in the city?
Yep. One that Hikaru has already into. Was that an in-character or an out-of-character question?
That was an in-character question.
Yes, there is, in fact.
It's that Fuijin Tech place. I'm surprised, after the Technocracy used a Novatech to take on Tigris, they didn't try to take out Fuijin too.
Wait, but
We should add it to the list.
You think they'd be all about grabbing all that techno bullshit? Frickin' Weaver-tainted bullshit. And yes, that is the monk saying all this.
Hikaru will look around the room. Keiko, are you ready to leave yet? If not, I can arrange for transportation for you.
I'm ready to leave.
All right. And he'll glance at Felicia and Mox and Elizabeth and say, I have a lot of work to do. You realize you're not taking care of this alone, right?
We appreciate you stepping up and helping out. I know there's a lot of crap going on with your side of the fence, so to speak. Part of me wishes I was, able to help out, but my side with my parents sided with the nation, so on and so forth. If you guys do need any help, though, my heart belongs to the East.
I will let you know. I will let you know first, I promise. In the meantime, this will be a fun and lovely way for me to take out my frustrations.
I'll agree there.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
nice.
Good night.
Mox is gonna
Before she leaves.
Mock's gonna notice the people leaving, look over to Felicia, and in Gerd tongue is gonna be like, I really hoped I would have had more time to learn crane style.
Well, there are lots of alternatives.
I'm still pretty wicked with my staff.
Also, for the love of God, get a phone.
I'm not supposed to have phones. I'm an ascetic.
Fine, what if I get you a punk-ass flip phone?
Is that considered ascetic? I don't think so.
A fucking
At this,
I will literally specifically for you.
at this point, Haishin will turn to look at Yang and will say in Cantonese, I think that we have done all we needed to here. Are you ready to withdraw?
Sure. We have words to exchange later, though.
As you wish.
Mox will just sigh. For the good of our group, I will accept a phone.
Okay, fine. If it means anything, it's not your phone. It's my phone that I lend to you.
That makes it a lot better, thank you.
Okay.
I just have to leave it outside the temple when I go home.
That is completely okay.
Mox is going to look over at the plate of waffles that's still there. I thought people were going to eat them. Damn it.
Xiaoying's gonna walk up, grab a waffle, and start munching on it.
Thank you.
grab
I've
some
already
more. I grabbed some more.
Thank you. It's gonna grab 2 and pour blueberry syrup on them. People have been eating, but I think I made way too much. I expected there to be a bigger draw. I mean, hell, Bosco is here. Did he have any? I thought Bosco would have had like 12.
That's
So Mox is going to sit down and start eating what's left and parceling out anybody who wants any. And
if I may ask, if I just don't want to jump in and intrude on another house gang, but if I'm just saying that if you need more people, that's just simply give me a call and I'll be glad to help you.
just make sure Felicia has your number then, and we'll work on it. But we're going to try to mitigate the risk as much as possible. I don't know if this place would be bad for you or not.
Out of character, did Tank just say I'm helping out? I'm helping out with this.
Yeah.
No. Oh, yes and no. He did it.
He asked if he could help.
Yes.
Felicia will look at Tank and she'll say, "I'm not sure how much you'll be able to do, but I can make sure that you're able to do something."
Thank you.
Out of character, Pentex is an agent of banality. You can go ham. But you don't know that in character.
Yep. Right. I guess if there's nothing else anybody wanted to do, I could go ahead and close up the scene right now. Does anybody have anything else they want to do?
Eat more waffles.
Oh, yeah. I may have to rename the scene the one with all the waffles. So, all right. Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. If we had any, I didn't see any, but we may have some later. This has been another edition of Hong Kong House of Cards, where the fun never stops and the waffles pile up to the sky. Have a good night.